Tune into the final take with MK Mariner every Saturday on the Alcamba Times and experience extensive conversations on a variety of topics, including national and international headlines, breaking issues, and major developments in politics, business, innovation, science, and sports, along with inspiring stories and expert analysis to provide a comprehensive understanding of the news.
Hello and warm welcome to the final take, exploring current affairs issues shaping advances in the Gambia and around the world. This week, an exclusive conversation with Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Professor Per Gomez, the state of higher education in the country and the recent student protests at the University of the Gambia. The final take will be taking a closer look at the technical vocational education training efforts spearheaded by the Higher Education Ministry, which is focused on providing platform for skills development. We will take a break, and when we come back, we will engage Professor Per Gomez in this exclusive interview.
Tune into the final take with MK Mariner every Saturday on the Alcamba Times and experience extensive conversations on a variety of topics, including national and international headlines, breaking issues, and major developments in politics, business, innovation, science, and sports, along with inspiring stories and expert analysis to provide a comprehensive understanding of the news.
Wherever you are joining us, this is the final take with me, Seni MK Marina. Today in the studio, we have a special guest, Professor Per Gomez, Minister of Higher Education in the Gambia. Let's get straight into the conversation. Welcoming Higher Education Minister, Professor Gomez, the man leading the Gambia's quest to attain excellence in higher education. Many thanks for joining us, Prof. Take us through your ministry strategy to expand higher education opportunities in the country. We have seen new, public universities that have been amalgamated, like the Gambia College, the GTTI, and the MDI. Take us through these public universities, the establishment, Prof.
Thank you very much, MK. Good to see you, and also very, very happy to be with you. We will also do our best to answer all the questions that you have asked. So we are in the process of now coming up with new universities, and as you know, as part of our transformation agenda of higher education ecosystem, we thought it wise to streamline what we have. And the major ones are, for instance, the Gambia College. Gambia College has 4 schools. But then we noticed also that our schools, sometimes our programs do not talk to each other. For instance, the School of Education of Gambia College, trains teachers for ECD, early childhood, that is the nursery school level, primary school, and junior secondary. Then you have a UTG, School of Education, trains teachers for senior secondary. That's the graduate teachers who now teach at senior secondary. But these curricula do not talk to each other. So as a country called the Gambia, with little resources, we are having currently 3 education baskets. And we cannot satisfy all of them. Yeah. So what we are saying now is, since we don't have enough, let us try to be strategic. Now have 1 education basket. So everything we put it there, and then now in that institution, they can now streamline all the curricula from ECD to PhD. So it means that we are now talking about moving, for instance, the School of Nursing and School of Public Health, Gambia College, to the University of the Gambia School of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences. Right. Which means, with that transformation, the University of Gambia will be the only public institution mandated to run medical training in this country. So all our money, we put it in one place. You get it? But right now, we're putting some at the Gambia College, some at UTG, and so and it's not enough. So it's better to streamline everything. That's number one. Number two, we are saying also Gambia College School of Agriculture to be moved to the University of the Gambia School of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. Then it means now UTG will be the only public institution that will be running agricultural programs and environmental sciences. So everything that we have will be put in one place. That is at the University of the Gambia. This is in addition to the other general education courses that UTG will be offering. Now, UTG School of Education now to move to the Gambia College and to be amalgamated with the Gambia College School of Education, they now form this new University of Education, the Gambia, UEG. So now it means...
So the School of Education is now been transformed into University of Education, right?
Yes, University of Education, the Gambia. So what we mean now is this. Now they will now have one university that deals with education matters, only in one place, one basket, from ECD to PhD. We are saying even further. Then now they will streamline the curriculum to talk to each other. The other thing also is because, for instance, now you do your HTC, and then you go to UTG. You repeat again, you have to spend 4 years. After spending 3 years,
to get your bachelor's,
you get the point. But if it is now in one place, they will be able to streamline. Say, those who did 3 years, maybe you can grandfather them the 4th year, where they will not be repeating the introductory courses, because those ones they must have done them at UTG. You get the point. Or you grandfather them the first 2 years, depending. But they will look at the curriculum. Okay. The other thing also is, if you one basic thing, currently, we train through the college ECD teachers. Yeah. That's these nursery school teachers. But when they are there at a particular time, if they see MK who is now teaching in the junior secondary, but with the HTC or whatever, though, because MK will have more salary than them. Yeah. You get it, point. And because they don't have the same status. So they would want to now do like MK, now to go back to the college and do PTC or HTC. When they get the PTC or HTC, when they come back to the system, they will not go back to teach at ECD. The consequence of that, you must have lost a well-trained and highly qualified ECD teacher.
Teachers, yeah.
You get it, point. So what is going to happen is you have to start fresh again. You need to get more another set of teachers for ECD, or you, like what is normally happening, you are not needed anywhere else. I said, go and handle the ECD nursery school, dump you there, then you see nursery school. As if this is the easiest way. When you and I know very well, this is the most difficult area. And I've been saying it. I'm a professor. But if you take me to the ECD now to say, teach these people, I'm going to fail.
Yeah, you can't.
Even with my, whatever titles and so on and so on, because this one is a very specialized area. You need to come to the level of these kids. Sometimes you need to sing, you need to dance, you need to play.
And it also requires a specialized training. Yeah.
Exactly. You cannot have somebody like me always the nyangal to deal with the kids. They will not listen to you. They will not get the message. and all that. So what we are saying now is, we need to have a system that will keep our specialists in the system by creating pathways for them, so that they don't envy others who did PTC, who did HTC or other graduate program. So now we'll have to come up with some degree programs, even in ECD. We should be able to have people with a bachelor's degree teaching at nursery school. This is the vision, and they don't have to envy any those at PTs at primary school or junior secondary, because at the end of the day they can receive the same salary because they are all graduates. You get the point. In the long run,
the goal here is to have highly trained teachers qualified, with degrees to teach at both the EDC and up to the university level.
You are very, very, very smart. You got the message right at the beginning. So this is exactly what we are trying to do, and this is the vision. Okay, we might not be able to get get to the end result, because we might not be around at that time. But we are putting systems in place so that at the end of the day, we'll be able to now have, as you rightly stated it, now graduates now in our system, even at nursery school level, now at ECD, now to be having graduates. Then it means also later on, or even this ECD certificate diploma, PTC or HTC diplomas, and so on, advanced diplomas, will have to phase out. That's the long-term agenda. Okay?
But Prof, this is a very ambitious plan. How do you intend to roll this out? Because right now, the higher education seems to be very stretched with a lot of public universities, and the human resources is not there. How do you intend to, attain this ambitious goal?
Yeah, that's the issue. That's why we are trying now to come up with one general, one university that offers general education. That is the University of the Gambia. Even though with two specialized programs, medicine and agriculture, the rest general education, and so on. But that will be the only one. The other universities will be specialized universities, and that's to help bring on board very good, nice campus, Faraba Banta campus. You see, and bring on board specialized programs, and that's going to help a lot. So in the process, we'll do it in phases. As I stated earlier on, we will continue having this certificate and diploma, but also having this graduate program. And gradually, we will be having these programs up to a particular time. That's what we're going to put into the system. Those who come after us will see how to continue, but the long-term agenda is later for these programs, these certificate and diploma, to phase out and give space now to the graduate ones. But we will now have them simultaneously.
Absolutely. Prof, let's examine the government work to boost higher education standard. We know that technical cooperation with Nigeria is a key driver behind the current programs at the UTG and the USET. But are we making strides in strengthening the country teaching capital? Are local lecturers getting the support they needed?
Yeah, we are doing that. By the way, we try to, in the university, the laws of the land state very clearly that, for instance, to teach at the University of Gambia, the minimum that a lecturer needs is a master's degree with thesis. If you do a master's degree without thesis, the laws of the land says you cannot teach at the University of the Gambia, the degree undergrad level. And even there, it's only at undergrad that you can teach. Then now at masters and PhD masters, you need to be a PhD holder. In other words, you need to have something above those you are teaching.
Exactly.
So that's what the law says. So you need to have a PhD in that area to be able to teach those people.
Is that a general academic law, or that is the law governing the UTG?
Yes, that is in most of the cases that's the norm. Okay, and then also, but then UTG, that's the case. In some cases, you can be given an exception. For instance, if you take somebody like Wole Soyinka, okay, who did not have, let's say, okay, let's assume did not have a PhD and so on and so forth. But you all know that Wole Soyinka is already a professor emeritus.
He's highly educated.
He's above even these professors with their PhDs and so on. Right. That one is a general consensus within the within academia. So that one, if you invite him to say, okay, lecture at this level, you know that everybody will agree that he has that minimum. But in essence, it's about quality assurance. The state will not want the system, the university system will not want to encourage mediocrity, to encourage people who do not have what it takes to be there lecturing and so on. You need to demonstrate. And Wole Soyinka, for instance, has demonstrated beyond reasonable doubt that he has what it takes to be there. He has something to offer to the academia because his works are studied at PhD level and so on and so forth. Therefore, if that man comes forward and he is eligible now to teach the professors, to teach whatever and so on, if the university contracts him and so on. So these are the exceptions. But the general rule is that you need to have a PhD now to be able to teach the master's degree. And then now, if you are to run a PhD program, you need to have PhD holders, but also professors. You cannot run PhD program just with only PhD holders who haven't reached the rank of a professor. Then your program has not met the minimum requirement to be accepted as a program within an academic system. So this is the general rule. Okay? So you need to have that balance. So then now, that's the reason why we engaged Nigeria to help us with technical assistance at the University of the Gambia, and Nigeria is the one paying their salaries. UTG just helped them with their accommodation and the local transport. Then now with the University of Applied Science, Engineering and Technology, formerly GTTI. So they now help us with 18 professors and senior lecturers in engineering, which we never had. The first time in the history of the Gambia to have the pool of expertise in that manner at that level, and we are not paying their salaries. You know, for them.
Who is paying these people's salaries, Prof, if I may ask?
It's Nigeria that is paying their salaries. And you know, a minimum of a professor, what they will take per month is $2,000 minimum. Wow. Some of them, it goes to $3,000. But it's Nigeria that is paying that. We don't have that money. So we just give them, take care of their accommodation and their local transport. Okay, that's the only thing we pay for the whole 2 years. And then also when they come, they don't ask for any administrative or academic position. It is based on our demand that we will ask them, can you help us in this and that and that? So in the process now, we train our people. And that's the reason you noticed a week ago, 2 days, less than 2 weeks now, we had an award ceremony. 18 lecturers, UTG, Gambia College, and MDI, you know, lecturers. The ministry, my ministry, decided to award them scholarships. I think some are supposed to go today. Most have left for Nigeria, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, to go and do their PhDs. And then our ministry is the one paying, taking care of their tuition fees. And then also their stipend. For those doing masters, we pay $500. Those doing PhD, we pay $850. Okay, and you know, per month. And then now their air ticket, we take care of that. Okay, so that's the return ticket we pay for it. So even the University of Education, formerly Gambia College, Civil Service University, formerly MDI, and the University of the Gambia, they are not going to pay a butut. It's the ministry that is going to pay for everything. Yes, and for this year, it's going to be just out of our 0.8% of the budget. Next year is 1% of the budget. That's what we are going to do. Why are we doing that? We want to respond to the needs and aspirations by equipping our people, creating opportunities. When they go out and get their PhDs, then that makes it very easy within a short period to now have a pool of Gambians
take ownership of higher education
to be professors and so on and so forth. Then within 3-4 years, now you see them coming up. Now after 5 years now to be associate professors and so on and so forth. That's an investment, because you see because it's not just
because my question will be with regards to the scholarship. Higher education is very expensive, and a lot of parents in the Gambia struggle to put their kids to school because paying a university is very expensive. So what do you do to get these kids to school? Because you're talking about scholarship, how transparent it is in awarding this scholarship to students to pursue higher education.
Well, we have a National Scholarship Award Committee. It is headed by the former principal of Nusrat, Mr. Karamo Bojang. Okay, and then you have a representative of Gambia College, now University of Education. You have representative of the University of the Gambia. You have representative of the Youth Council. Mm-hmm. You have representative of this, the private sector that is right opposite my office, GCCI.
GCCI, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, GCCI. Also, you have other stakeholders who are not from the university. In fact, the only, from my ministry, we just play the role of a secretariat. Okay, they're just compiling, and so what they decide, that's what is now shared with the public. So the ministry, the membership, you have 1 or 2 who play the role of a secretariat. Mm-hmm. Once they are done, they send the list now to the PS and myself now for approval. We just approve what they have done
based on their recommendation.
Based on their recommendation. Okay, so we don't change whatever they have done most of the time, unless they have a problem. They let us know. That's the time we intervene. But apart from that, we go by what they would have recommended.
So do they have a set of criteria in awarding this scholarship?
Yes. For instance, you have because we don't have enough for everybody. And we're having a gap in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. As a country, we decided that we need to come up with a policy to see how to prioritize certain areas so that we can get more expertise. And that's why 65%, minimum of 65% of the scholarship must go to those in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM, and medicine, and agriculture. Mm-hmm. So the rest go to the other places. But I have to tell you also the fact. You see, they form the minority. Because the majority of Gambian students are art students and commerce students.
Yeah, Prof, this is the question I even want to ask you after this explanation. And this is affecting the growth and development of our country. Because a lot of focus is been, on law, on social sciences, while STEM is lacking. And you cannot develop a country without science and technology. So what efforts are your ministry doing to ensure that students are encouraged to pursue courses in STEM areas instead of science, humanities, which is becoming monotonous now?
Well, the first thing that we can do is to offer them, give them this priority. I know those in the arts and the they are not very happy. I come from that area, but that's how it is. It's not what I want, but what it's supposed to be. I like you explained earlier on. So I know some will not be happy hearing you making that suggestion. But you know, this is as a country, we are having gaps in this area. So, and the best way to now address that lacuna is to now propose alternative, telling them that if you study in this area, you are likely to have scholarships, and nobody, you don't have to worry for 4 years. So it will be done. And even after, if you want to go for the studies, the same approach is given. Even our scholarships abroad, we tend to give priority to those who are in STEM and engineering. For instance, I just give you an example. I've been saying it for those doing medicine at the University of the Gambia. Do you know that if you have the acceptance at the University of Gambia School of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences, and MOHAS advertises scholarships, the only thing you should do is just to apply. And obviously you'll be shortlisted. And when you come for the interview, you will not spend 30 seconds there.
So meaning the Ministry of Higher Education attaches great importance to STEM. Meaning any student interested in pursuing studies in this area will be granted an automatic scholarship.
No, you don't need to come forward. That's the only thing. Come forward and be counted.
Are students coming forward?
Yes, they are coming forward. But the problem is we have to now bend the rule by now alive, because some of them came after the deadline, but they are into medicine. And medicine, I have to tell you, is number one. Priority number one for us in terms of scholarship. Engineering is number two, okay, in terms of priority. And then now you have the physical and natural sciences as number three.
Wow.
So that's it. So now for medicine, for instance, you have close to 20-something students who they were there at medicine, School of Medicine. They did not apply, and then at the school level, they were not telling them that you need to come and pay. But for them, they were just doing it. All of a sudden, now UTG started telling them, if you don't have award, you cannot follow your lectures. That's the time they just rushed to me, to their president, medical school. So we look at the whole situation. As he said, if you do not, though they're coming at the wrong time, after the deadline, but the rule should be interpreted with common sense. Mm-hmm. Now, these are the future medical doctors. What should we do? When I get sick, I will go to the hospital. These are the people I'm likely to find them. Should I deny them this opportunity? And tomorrow, even myself, when I get sick and have problems, so we have to look at the whole situation and then now make some adjustment for the interest of the common good. And then now, outside the time frame, we granted them that opportunity, gave them. And I'm saying they just need to come forward. Once you get admission at the University of the Gambia School of Medicine, because for the School of Medicine is the best. Mm-hmm. They only take 30% or 20 or 30% of the number of students who applied. 70 to 80% are always rejected, and most of them would have met the requirement, but because of space and because of whatever, and so they are not taking. So
you want to tell me that because medicine is an area that not a lot of people are very interested because it's complicated, and secondly, it takes you at least 9 good years before you are certified medical doctor. But from your conversation, it seems that a lot of students are getting interested in medicine, but because of space. Because of space at the School of Medicine, they could not. I think, the ministry should do something about that, because we need more home-trained medical doctors in the country, and then lack of space should not be an obstacle towards their dream.
I can tell you very clearly that we as part of the Farababanta project, we are talking about phase 3.
Yes.
Because we've delivered phase 1, and phase 2, God willing, mid 2025, around July, we will do the inauguration of phase 2 with the new schools, Faculty of Law, Agriculture, and the Chancery building, 7 stories. and so on.
Okay.
So that's what's going to happen with all the laboratory equipment.
Okay, there will be more space for medical students
yes,
now.
so now what we are doing now, we started the process. His Excellency President Barrow directed that we work with the Ministry of Finance to now engage development partners, and we are working with IDB now to see how to come up with a the School of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences in Faraba that will now have all these programs, not only medicine, but even pharmacy, at degree level, among other medical programs. And that's going to cost us around $43 million.
US dollar.
Yes. Wow. So, and it's not only the structure, the school, but also the laboratory equipment, but also capacity building. We'll also have an opportunity to send our people outside also to do some other specialized training in preparation for this new norm, so that they can come and be at that level now to run some of these programs. That's what we are having in mind. And we started the process, and we will start after the new year. We'll be having a feasibility study to now look at that synergy, because we want to have a synergy between what we will be doing at Faraba and what the Ministry of Health is doing, for instance, Farato with the hospital and the other medical labs that are being built now. So there must be a link so that everything is harmonized, because we train for them. So we train the doctors and the nurses, the public health officers, the pharmacists and the dentists, and so on. So these are some of the things that we'll be doing for them, and it is part of the plan that we're going to handle. Yeah.
Okay. For those watching, this is the final take with me, Seni Marena. In the studio is a special guest, Honorable Professor Per Gomez, Minister of Higher Education, Science, Research, and Technology. Prof, let's get back to students' needs. It has been a rather turbulent week at the University of the Gambia, where you taught yourself as a professor for many, many years. The students have spoken, about their concern with regard to the dismissal of two prominent lecturers. What's your ministry response to this current standoff? And has there been any effort to bring parties to table for dialogue as students head to end of year examinations?
Yeah, thank you very much. I know this is not easy, but for us in the university, it is normal. University is a place of divergent views.
Yeah, absolutely.
University is, it's not like in the church where you say, this is what is the Bible says, God said this, or it's in the Dara, where you quote the Quran. There, when God has spoken, it is final. So nobody can say anything else, because God would have spoken, and then as believers, we just execute. You cannot question what God has said and has done. But in a university, you question everything. Even what Professor Gomez will say is subject to scrutiny. So, and that's the norm in a university. And sometimes people can have serious argument, but
class of ideas.
They're having being in a table of sisterhood, drinking and drinking tea and enjoying themselves. This is normal. So, but the issue is, this is as a result of the fact that there's two lecturers were dismissed and the staff were not very happy, and they decided.
Yeah, as we speak, both the students and the faculty members are currently on a sit-down strike, Prof.
Yes, so they would have this week. They would have they would have started their exams. They are done with their lectures roughly, apart from one or two courses that are still pending. But the rest of the courses are done. They were supposed to do revision last week, and then now have to start their exams this week, and then complete after the Christmas holidays. So. But the issue now is when the staff association wrote to my ministry, and with less than 24 hours, we responded by receiving them at the ministry to listen to their concerns and so on. So then later, the president was briefed, and His Excellency President Barrow, and later directed that the issues to be escalated to the permanent His Excellency the Vice President. And we've been having series of meetings with stakeholders there the whole week up to Saturday. Up to Saturday, even His Excellency the Vice President will come to the office, and we'll meet in the morning up to 6 p.m. or just on these matters and so.
So is there any outcome?
Yeah. So one of the later on we met the staff separately. We met students separately and management separately. Later we brought them together. We met them and so on. And one of the conclusions that we had at that time was to set up how to call it an independent committee chaired by Department of Labor to look into the matter, in which the Staff Association will be represented, and it was agreed that the Secretary General of the Staff Association will be one of the judges to look into that. And government said that we will implement the outcome of that decision. So, and we thought that there would be a solution based on that. And the reason why we wanted the Staff Association to be there was so that there's transparency. They also have a voice in the whole process. So let them listen to everybody. Let management comes with their dossier, and then it will be looked at. Let also the other parties come with their dossier, it will look at, and then let them now tell us the way forward. Unfortunately,
but this is really affecting academic work at the UTG. Students have not been, going to class, and then exams have been, stale. Do you think there is an urgency to solve this issue immediately, so that both parties concerned are happy with the outcome of the situation?
Yes, there's urgency because by now they should have been in exam, so that they will use January for holidays, for a break.
Yes, exactly.
So what is going to happen now is their break. Is the time that they should have used for exam. That's what they are using now for break. That's what they are using now as a break. And then the time in January they would have used for break, that's what they are now going to use for the exam, because it is now agreed by the majority of students. Came up with a survey. 66% of the students said,
I saw that, for postponement,
preferred exam to be postponed till the 30-something said they want the exams now. So it is urgent. So now what we've done is there's a new governing council, the Professor Fanel-led governing council. Professor Fanel was the former dean of the School of Business and Public Administration, one of the biggest schools at the University of the Gambia. So we now look at the whole issue. So I now wrote to them, giving them 1 week, starting from Monday. I know today.
This coming Monday, right? Next week.
Yeah, starting from this coming Monday, we start counting. We give them 1 week to now engage all the parties. And I know that today they are currently having meeting the Staff Association, meeting the students and so on, different parties, to see how they can come up with a compromise. So that's what we've done. So now what we are saying is, as a government, we do not want to come up with some will call it a political response. I would say a policy response. I would
want not to escalate the situation.
Coming from academia, I would want to have an academic response to an academic problem. And therefore, I will, university has structures. You have the management, you have Senate, you also have the governing council. And with that will help really to address all these things. So we now ask them, we will prefer to exhaust all the possibilities within the university, because there's a tendency to be asking the government to intervene on things that could have been addressed by academics themselves.
Yeah, by the
university. So we
university.
are pushing them to the corner, not because government is weak, but government wants to really toe a line. The directive we received from His Excellency President Barrow after a series of briefings is a continue engage them in negotiation, in dialogue. So government prefers to toe this line so that we have a peaceful resolution of this situation.
Yes, it is.
We do not want to have solutions that we have in other countries among our neighbors and so on. So how they dealt with some of these issues. We are the Gambia, so we can do it the Gambian way. So we can, quarrel and so on and so forth. At the end of the day, we all come back again. So and have drink our attire. Because that's what Gambia want to do. So that's the reason why we are pushing for dialogue, not because we are weak, not because we don't want to come up with a solution now, but we want to have peace. You can achieve a lot through dialogue.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the other thing also is, remember, we are, and you are in a better position to remind us, we are now in democracy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So democracy, when we are in democracy, you need to also take your time.
Democracy also entail dialogue, not only confrontation, right?
So
I agree.
Instead of going for this, so let's give this possibility. Obviously, when we reach the wall, then government will intervene. But it is good in a democracy. Before you do anything else, you give peace a chance. You dialogue, because it's the same family. Same family. At the end of the day, those who on strike, those who are at management, it's the same family. It's the same family.
Prof, university classify you as one of their own. So many students, appreciate you because you are one of their favorite lecturers. But when this protest started, a lot of them were like, "This is not our Professor Per we know at the University of the Gambia." They want you to take a decisive action right now so that this issue can be solved, and it has been dragging. How committed are you in resolving this crisis, Prof?
Yeah, but I understand, and they all know that university is in my heart. I did not do any other job apart from being in the classroom with them, and they know how I enjoy. In fact, discussing with them outside the classroom and being in the classroom, it's a passion. So, and I'm always very proud of them wherever they are, and right now the Gambia is what it is thanks to the UTG products. You remove UTG product of the system, it will crumble. So I want to say to salute all of them and say that I'm always proud, and they know we have a contract. Our contract is based on certain core values. They all know Prof. Governments will always defend those core values, and they have to also follow due process. They know that university has a system. You have management. You have Senate, you have a governing council. It's not also proper. Just because I come from the university, now I'm a minister, I start
now you are in the government, yes. So it's not going to be the same professor.
It's the same prof, but then also the same prof using his mind, common sense, that you cannot also come and then be micromanaging the institution. You need to allow the structures, the governance system to operate. Remember, this was a decision by management and then later the governing council, which is the highest body of the university. So if there's something that needs to be reviewed, it must come from this body. And now there's a new governing council. Okay? So it is important, common sense will demand that allow this new governing council to now also look at it. They were not there. Some of them were not there when these decisions were taken. So let them look at here, listen to all the parties, and now advise or take a decision or advise government on what to do. Okay? Now, if they reach the wall and they cannot progress anymore, then that's the time our government will come forward. And make no mistake, they all know me. Government will take a decision. Prof. Gomez believe that leadership is not a popularity contest. You remember the move to Faraba? The entire world said that we will not move to Faraba. And I said that the move to Faraba is irreversible. That was my belief, that was my conviction, strong conviction for that matter. You see, look, who will have these beautiful, campuses? And this is just one school. This is just one school. As, there are other schools like this one, okay? And then now be sitting in Canifing or Brikama, renting, struggling for space, fighting for chairs and so on and so forth. And so I decided to go against what the majority said, because I believe that the majority is not always right. And I will not succumb to the dictatorship of the majority. Why did I go to school? Education, I said, must liberate the individual so that you are free. You take decisions based on your conscience, based on your core values. At that time, I believed that was the best institution. And I made it very clear. Here too, I believe that we need to give peace a chance. When we reach a particular level, we will come forward and tell the Gambian people, this is our decision. It might not be a popular decision from some corners, but we will defend that. This is our position, and but for now, it's a peaceful resolution. Allow them to solve their problem among themselves. We are trying to force them indirectly to sit down and talk. Let them talk. It's the academic family, you see, and it's a divergent view. Let's listen to it. And then life is a give and take. MK, you know that very well. Sometimes, you get, this is what I wanted. I wanted 100%. I could not get 100%. Let me get 50% and allow that the other 50 to go for the sake of peace, for the interest of the common good. So let us not bring down the house. That's what I've been saying. And I kept on saying that we are duty bound, because this is our premier university. We need to safeguard the integrity, the sanctity of the University of the Gambia. We need to.
Do you have faith? Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
Do you have faith in your university management, from your vice chancellor to your management team, with the current happenings? And do you think that they will be able to solve this issue without involving external forces?
I have faith in them. All of them, management, the staff, and the students. The governing council. I have faith in them. I have no doubt that they will do something. So that's the strong conviction I have, and that's the reason why, as a minister of higher education, I'm encouraging them to sit down and have a give and take and dialogue. For your own, remember, MK, the university is run by your own money. Will you want your money to be used anyhow and this institution to crumble and so on and so when it's run through your own money? Like anybody, your viewers, this is your money. This belongs to all of us. So we cannot. If it was a private individual, then something else. But it's our institution. So we need to protect it. We need to give our best into to this institution, and then ensure that our university also will be that beacon of hope, so that as part of our plans, we want the Gambia to be a hub for academic training, so that people in the sub-region who are always victim of strikes, endless strikes, where undergrad it takes them 7-8 years, so they can come to the Gambia where we don't experience these strikes. So we will now have what I call academic tourism. So they will be coming here. Remember, when they come here as foreign students, they pay in dollars. They pay more than the Gambians. Like, if you go to the UK, for instance, their international students pay 3 times what the national students, or more than 3 times what the national students are paying. So, but when you look at it, even though it's not, they don't say it, but when you look at it, part of that money is what is used now to support the nationals for their training, to help them in doing whatever and so on, and then also to preserve their universities to continue running and so on. So this is what they are doing, to the extent that now, even that for the PhD programs, they tend to have more international students now, because most of their students, the moment they get a first degree or master's, they tend to, because they would have gotten a good job, so some of them will not go for this PhD and so on. You know, so just a few number of them go for PhD. So it's the international students who will now come, and because the professors who are there, they want to preserve their job. They need students to justify their existence, and that's why you now see they will be getting these many students from Asia who will pay a lot of money, you know, and other international students to run the program, and because they will pay more than three times what the British nationals are paying. So this, if we have that model in Africa, in the Gambia, that can also help. Also, among other issues. Right now, for medicine, we cannot take all the people who want to come to medicine from the sub-region. We are rejecting a good number of them.
So you are having students from the sub-region who are interested to study medicine at the university.
Especially in medicine and law.
I know about the law. I know a lot of Ghanaian students are coming to Gambia now to get their bar, but I'm not aware of the medical field, you know.
Yeah, even, you know, you have the bar school, but also the faculty of law at the university. But also medicine. For medicine, we reject more than what we absorb.
Wow.
The number of international students who want to do medicine, the ones that we reject are more than the ones that we accept. So, but then if we have enough space, this is going to create more money for us. You see, and we can use that now to buy more teaching and learning and so on, and to use that to give it to give scholarships to more Gambians and so on, among other issues. But if you don't have that peaceful, that serene environment, you cannot do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is so academic tourism in a peaceful Gambia, as we know, the smiling coast, and we want the coast to continue smiling.
Thank you, Prof. We are almost at the tail end of this very interesting conversation. I will shift our attention to our foreign students, students that are outside the country, but under the payroll, I would say, of the Ministry of Higher Education. I have received a lot of reports, like 42 Gambian students in Morocco are without their stipend, unpaid. They are complaining, you know, they want me to reach out to you. What are you doing to make sure that these students are paid? Because life is so hard for them in the universities. They are studying. They don't have access to their stipends. What is delaying their stipend, and what effort are you doing to ensure that they get paid for their little money that the government is giving to them?
Well, before I came in as minister, I discovered a practice in some that's for Morocco.
Yeah, for Morocco, yeah. They said 42 students enrolled in bachelor's, direct master's 5, architecture 6, and pharmacy 6 years program have met the eligibility criteria you outlined previously in your statement. This is 2023 to 2024 academic year, but there has also been duplicated names in the second batch, not been replaced with an underpaid students.
Yeah, I'm saying, just give you the background. So previously, before I came in, there was a practice from some countries in Morocco,
Russia,
Russia, and to some extent maybe Malaysia and other countries, where, you know, the ministry will sit, and at a particular time, a list of students is sent to the ministry, asking the ministry to pay for these students. And the only criteria is they are Gambians and they are studying abroad. Then I said, if that's the case, then all Gambians studying abroad will be given scholarships. Do we have the money? Who gave them the award? Did they go through an interview process by their scholarship advisory board? And then to be selected, who selected them, and all that. We state that we will not, even if the sky is to come down, we will not pay for anybody we have not awarded a scholarship. We will not give, pay for anybody who did not apply for scholarship, who did not go through our interview process and selected to be able to go.
So you have students who did not follow this process, right?
That was the practice, I said.
Oh.
And you will have a list of close to 100, okay, sent to you to say to pay. And how can you do that? What is the justification? If you are asked, what will you tell that this is the justification? That how many Gambians are outside the Gambia and who would want to be supported? See, so we cannot do that. Let's do what is reasonable. That's the first point. But then now we have a meeting and minutes were taken and sent to all of them, sent to all the embassies and to the student leadership. And then now we said, however, those who are already being supported, we will not stop them from that support. Because already the process started, whether it was wrongly done, but since they've been supported, we will honor that. Okay? However, we will have to verify whether these people are really studying. Okay. Or whether, because out there saying that send us, we just send, continue sending. When we don't know, have evidence that you are a student or whatever, we will not do that. So you have to give us the evidence, your transcript, and also your admission letter, and so on, showing us that you are really studying in this area. So that's what we've done. So with that, we're able to process many things. In fact, we send our people, our internal auditor,
to verify.
Verify. Even at UTG, we do head count. So they went around to Morocco, to India, and so on, did the head count, but some of them could not come. They said they are staying in different regions and so on. So when our people came, later they could not meet these people. But part of the reason why we wanted the verification is to see the student. But you have to go, and then now, unfortunately, you cannot see them. You cannot see some of them. So you have to, now you are asked to approve those you have not seen. So it's a bit problematic. So I later instructed my team to give them a second chance. Now by doing another one, this time online. Okay, let them, like the way we're doing it now.
Exactly.
They will submit their stuff, and then they will have an online
face to face,
face to face, and then do that. So they did that. A good number of them came again for the second chance, and those people were cleared. But there are others who did not come when they went to Morocco. Also, when they were given this online, the second chance with the online, who did not come. Wow. You get it? So, and yet still people want us to
give them money.
Then the third one also, you have some who were under our scholarship to do their undergrad. They finished the undergrad program. They decided to continue to do masters. And they want us now to
without approval from the ministry.
Without approval from the ministry. You get it? And for them, it's a force. It should be automatic. That we say we don't have the money. You see, we have a small amount. So if you are given the opportunity, based on taxpayers' money, to be given that chance, so give the opportunity to others. You can write to the ministry. If you have the funds, we will support you. But if you do not, then now you cannot force us to now sponsor your master's degree. We will not do that because we don't have the money. You get it? So that's what we stated. However, now there was another case when my people sent, and then the students' leaders said that there were some mistakes because
several students reported that they receive award letters with inaccurate course information.
I
don't know whether this have been settled.
No, these are they told, my guys told me that it is done now. That's what they said, that they've done the correction, because I told them to fix that as soon as possible. Okay, but the issue is, what happened is there are two errors there. One has to do with the program, because what we did was, what we asked them to do is, anybody you give a scholarship, you need to indicate the program he or she is doing.
He or she is studying. Yeah.
Number one. Number two, you need to know when he has started that program, and when is he supposed to finish, so that when we reach that year, we will stop the scholarship, because we cannot continue paying for people endlessly. So we need to know when you start and when you are supposed to end. Okay, because this is taxpayers' money. We cannot just be giving scholarship anyhow and without having any control of that. So we now did that. So what happened is there were some errors, I'm told, about let's say those who were to do public admin, they're giving let's say
architectural draftsmanship instead of the actual courses.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. What is a typo? You know, this copy and paste. For instance, if you do MK is doing journalism, okay, you finish the letter for MK, but they are all,
and you went and put law there
in Morocco. You copy that, and then now trying to change. You change the name of the student, but you forgot now to change the program from journalism to architecture, for instance. So these are the mistakes. But this is something my people should have taken care of, but we asked them to now do that. The students wrote to that effect. And then there were two students who were mistakenly added on the list, and they stated for that to be changed. So I asked my guys to fix that, and we will make a follow-up again on Monday whether that was done. And the payment also, I was told that it was done for those that they have cleared. Okay, what we will not do, anybody who is not on that list, final list, we will not pay that person. Oh, wow. And I said it over. I know they said from there, if nothing is done, they will go to the media and go on a serious campaign against. I think you are making a mistake. You are making a mistake, because Prof. Gomez will not use taxpayers' money anyhow, and when he is asked, he cannot explain.
But Prof, some students are complaining that. Yeah, some students in Morocco, elsewhere, are complaining that the ministry paid some students who decided to proceed to masters while leaving some pursuing bachelor still.
I'm saying that in fact that's the prerogative of the ministry for that matter. Okay. When you want to go for masters, it's the ministry that determines based on what we have. If we have 20 students who applied and maybe we can support 5, we support 5. Okay. That's what we can. That's their prerogative. Okay. Because it's not their prerogative. What is important is you are doing your undergrad and you met the requirement. We have to ensure that we pay you that. Those who request for masters and so, if we have the funds, we support. If we don't have, we tell you, unfortunately, we cannot. Okay. And there's also priority areas that we have to look at. So these are some of the things that we have. Yes. So that's the priority. And not anyhow. And then also, we are trying even henceforth, because now we want to be in charge. We don't want people to go out there and then they send us the name. We want anybody who is going is based on those we have cleared from here. So now certain programs that are offered here at the University of the Gambia, we want people to go and do them here. Then abandoning the University of the Gambia, you go to Morocco, you want us to pay twice or 3 times what we would have paid for somebody here at UTG, among others. So these are some of the things. We want to capitalize on some of these scholarships for programs that we do not have here in the Gambia. And then for certain things that, certain areas, even some programs that we have, but those in Morocco, they have better facilities, better laboratory equipment.
Yeah, especially for STEM courses,
we want to give priority to those ones, but not programs that are available here in the Gambia. people to ignore the Gambia and want us to pay 3 times that amount. This is taxpayers' money. Gambians will not forgive us for that matter. The next thing they you accent do. So we cannot wait for that. We have to ensure that we do manage judiciously the little that they give us. And remember, we don't have enough. This year, 2024, our budget was 0.8%. 2025 will be 1%. So it's not enough, 1% of the budget. So we need to manage. We need to. That's why we are
Prof, higher education is very expensive, and then I think, you know, as the Minister of Higher Education, you should prevail on the Finance Minister and the executive to allocate a lot of resources, because without higher education, the development of the country will be difficult to be attained, you know, because having all these academic courses, you know, in STEM will help the country develop. But if the budget for the higher education is being reduced every year, this will have a significant impact on our country's development.
We are engaging them. You know, you notice, as I said, you know, last year we were, or this year, 2024, we were around 0.8%. So 2025 will be at 5%, at 1%.
So meaning there is a little bit
yes. So
increase.
This means that the message is sinking. So we are still engaging. So God willing, gradually, and then also we'll be engaging development partners, you know, to be able to complement government efforts. So, for instance, the World Bank, we are having some issues that need to be looked at. Okay, so
absolutely. Okay, Prof, finally, before I let you go, you know, I want to ask you this question. We're coming back to the University of the Gambia. How far with the payment of pending tuition fee for students who completed their programs at the UTG and they cannot still access their degrees and certificate? They are on Ministry of Higher Education payroll, you know, but they cannot access their certificates and degrees as we speak.
No. That one, we will address that. We will address that with the university management. I've been saying it over and over. The University of the Gambia belongs to the Gambia government.
Right.
You get the point. Those working at the University of Gambia is a delegated authority. It's government who appointed them there. So the material, the university belongs to the government. So government cannot be denied of what belongs to them.
To them. Absolutely. Absolutely. So and a lot of students are having a lot of stress with regards to this. They say they cannot have jobs. They cannot have, you know.
We will address that. The University of the Gambia belongs to the Gambia government. So those working there are hired by the Gambia government to do that job. So the owner cannot be punished in his own house. So when the letter that we normally give to the students to be handed over, and the list that we normally send to the university is like as if we've given them the money, because we will pay them. Okay, so yes, it is true, we owe them some arrears, a lot of money, but we are working towards handling them. So they will have to be taking note of that, and until we settle, we're going to settle some of them. Okay. So, but then therefore, anybody who is on Gambia government scholarship, when he finishes, he should not be denied, his papers, because he's under Gambia government. So, because they say when we pay that, we don't go to that student to say, hey, come back, we've already paid for you. So it's only UTG who will handle that. So they will have to clear them, and then they deal with us.
Absolutely.
Okay? They come to us, but students cannot be punished for crime they have not committed. It is the Gambia government who owes them those arrears. So we're going to pay. without any problem. So
Okay.
I don't think they should be denied that possibility.
Okay. Prof, that brought us to the end of this interview. But finally, as the minister responsible for higher education, tensions are very high at the university between students and the faculty and the management. What advice do you have for these parties looking forward to settling this issue amicably in the interest of both parties, the faculty, the students, and the management?
Well, the advice that I have is to for them to really give peace a chance, create an opportunity where they will disagree to agree. It's a university, therefore you have people are programmed to question the logic. People are expected also to have divergent views and think differently. But then also, at the end of the day, they look at the bigger picture, the common good as enshrined in our national anthem, common good. But now understand that in the service of the Republic, our egos should be set aside. The Republic knows no ego. The Republic knows no club, knows no cabal. In fact, the Republic must bring down the structures of a cabal. Especially in an academic system, we need to think outside the box and think for the interest of the common good. And always think about the image of the institution they are serving as lecturers, administrators, and also where they are studying as students. The sanctity and the integrity of that institution depends on them. They need to preserve that. So that, because all universities, the all over, have problems. All over, they have problems. Even in the US, where you are, you saw...
there was a student protest about the conflict in Gaza, the Palestinian rights.
So the problems are everywhere. But what is important is to move on, go beyond this situation. That's my take on that, and so that they solve the problem very quickly. Because if they fail, it means that, because that's what I want them to do to solve the problem.
The government will intervene.
Because if they fail, then the government will intervene, and they will not have anybody to blame but to blame themselves, because they are given the chance. So let them give peace a chance and solve the problem, and we will be able to do it. And in the process, we are trying to ensure that we do our best. And we also, we're going to solve create opportunities. Already, we are launching the SIE Fund, Skills and Innovation and Enterprise Fund, to support those in Tibet, giving them stipend, but also giving the institutions funds to really equip their centers, but also giving students who have some projects for startups. So that's what we are going to do for the first time. We've also come up with those famous three bills. They are currently at the National Assembly waiting for the third reading. The famous loan scheme, for the first time in the history of the Gambia. The Research and Innovation Fund bill, the TED Fund, Tertiary and Higher Education Trust Fund bill. All is for the first time. It's all part of the alternative ways of funding tertiary and higher education. Then also we are coming up with, we'll be validating in the coming weeks. Now, first ever policy and also strategy on gender in tertiary and higher education. How to support the female gender in tertiary and higher education. Because as you know, right now, the data is showing that we are having more girls finishing high school than boys. However, when it comes to university, you tend to have more boys than girls. It means that we are having a problem of transition from high school to the university. So where are the girls going? if care is not taken, it shows that in the Gambia, the highest you can go if you're female gender is high school, and then you later get married. We need to change that directive. When the female gender, they form 52% of the population. The other one also is the madrasa. The madrasa students in tertiary and higher education having issues to see how they can be integrated.
Streamline them.
Yes, they form 20% of high school going students. 20%. That's a high number. So that's the reason why, for the first time, at Mohas, Minister of Higher Education, we came up with a special scholarship package to give them 100 scholarships. 100. Wow. You see, it's unprecedented. Okay, because the one that we give to UTG and others, the criteria doesn't favor them. So that's why we came up with this special one. The other thing also is we are now coming up with a study. In the coming weeks, it will be validated also through a World Bank project, our RISE project, also to see how to integrate STEM, once again, STEM and TVET and so on, into the madrasa, so that we have somebody who is an imam, but also an engineer, somebody who is an ustaz, but also who is a plumber, an electrician, a construction specialist.
A skillful person, yeah.
Exactly. So graduating from the confinement where our brothers and sisters are, when they finish, they are either an ustaz or an imam. And you all know that we don't have enough space, enough mosque and whatever for them to be ustazes and imams.
At the same time, learn skills development.
Yes. Yeah. So this is what we are trying to do in a peaceful Gambia, so that democracy can be manifested. Democracy is not about voting, elections every 5 years and so on. Democracy is having an inclusive system. Let everybody, they are part and parcel of the system. They are all Gambians. It is their fundamental rights for the system to come forward and also put something on the table for them. See, this is our belief. We, as one Gambia, one people, our education system must be there for everybody. It cannot discriminate, and that's our policy. These are things that we'll be doing in the coming weeks and months.
Many thanks, Professor Per Gomez, Minister of Higher Education, speaking to me live from Banjul about the state of higher education and student protests, as well as Gambian students in abroad, this general situation. Professor Gomez, many thanks for coming to the final take with me, Seni Marina.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Seni.
It's a pleasure. Until we come your way, this is the final take with me, Seni Marina. Many thanks to Professor Gomez for that brilliant interview. We'll take a leave of you until next week. Do have a wonderful weekend.
Tune into the final take with MK Marina every Saturday on the Alcamba Times and experience extensive conversations on a variety of topics, including national and international headlines, breaking issues, and major developments in politics, business, innovation, science, and sports, along with inspiring stories and expert analysis to provide a comprehensive understanding of the news.